Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we're going to get into today's Raiders rumors, some NFL news, and yes, we will at the very end of the show talk about what happened at training camp today. A little bit of fight. We'll break it all down. Also, we got the latest going on around Brandon Parker. Before I get into all of that, today's show is presented by Panda Supps, and we got a new product alert. They just dropped their brand new testosterone booster. For anybody out there, it's like, man, I wish I was in the shape I was when I was 20. You want to feel 20 again? You take some test boosters, man. 25% off, promo code TEST at pandasupps.com. That link's going to be available for y'all in the comments and in the description of today's video. So the first story coming up here is going to be around Roquan Smith. And anytime that there's NFL news that comes out, this magnitude, people just start blowing up my DM. They're like, could we get Roquan? Could we get Roquan? Well, the Chicago Bears star linebacker requested a trade today. He illustrated out multiple things that, he thought that they were lowballing him, that they didn't respect him here and there. And now he's out there. Chicago could potentially be moving on from him. When I saw this go down, obviously my initial impact or instinct is think of Champ Kelly. How much would he want, and how much would a trade cost? Well, first off, you got to look at how much Roquan Smith would want. And personally, I think he wants to be up around this like Fred Warner, C.J. Mosley, Darius Leonard type of money. It's a lot of money for a linebacker, $20 million, $17 million, all this millions on the board. A lot of money. Then you add into the equation the Raiders' linebacking room, which is Denzel Perryman, Divine Diablo, Jayon Brown. No disrespect to all three of these players. You can make an argument that Roquan is a better player than all three of these guys. He's a good coverage linebacker. Yeah, he struggles against stopping the run, but in today's NFL, I value linebackers that can get after the quarterback, drop back into coverage a little bit more than just stopping the run. So here's my question to all of you. What would you give up, for a Roquan Smith in a trade? Would you give up a first-round pick? Maybe you'd give up a second-round pick. Would you give up a few players? I want to know from all of y'all watching, what would you give up for Roquan Smith in a trade? Because this might be a hot take, and a lot of y'all are going to be like, Mitch, well, then you're not going to get him. Okay. For me, I am not giving up a first, and I'm not giving up a second-round pick. I know the brand-new head coach over there in Chicago, Matt Eberflus. He comes from the Colts coaching tree of they value draft picks. They've always valued draft picks. It's why they let Khalil Mack go for a second and a sixth-round pick. When you look at the numbers from Roquan, they are very impressive. No doubt about it. 163 tackles last season, 3 sacks, 1 interception. In 2020, 139 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. So some of you are like, man, you would only give up a third-round pick for Roquan? The reason why I'm only giving up a third is because you not only have to give up that draft capital, but why would I spend a lot of money on a player that I know wants to be traded? So for that reason, the value goes down. And on top of that, it's not a major need for the Raiders, and you're going to have to probably pay him over $15 million per year. When you look at his PFF numbers, this is why I always say you can't just look at tackles. It tells a little bit of a different story. His overall grade on PFF was not only below average, it's bad. 47.8, run grade, 30.0, pass rush grade, 55.1. Sure, the 69.2 coverage grade is good, and you're hoping that this can continue to get better. In 2020, he was legit. I do think that the run grade is a little bit lower, and sometimes PFF gets a little too PFF-y, if you will. But he was good against the pass, good against coverage, and that's what I look for in a linebacker. The only thing is this, and again, I am somebody that looks for deals. I'm the type of person, I'm going to walk into a store, I'm going to look at the sale rack, and if I can get a good deal on that sale rack, I'll do it. If the Bears are willing to move on from Roquan and it's a sale, cool. Then I'm interested. If they're looking for a first, if they're looking for a second-round pick, he's a great player. But the Raiders have other big-time needs like a right tackle, like extra offensive line depth, like a defensive tackle that I would rather invest my money in to go out and get somebody like that. Now, y'all, we are in a sub-battle this week. The Raiders are taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And Vikings now has had 21 subs this week. The Raiders Sports got a comfortable lead with 62. But I don't want to stop there. I don't want to just triple these guys. I want to just times 10 them. I want to just pound these mother effers in the ground, not only on the football field, but here as well. And the new guy, Patrick Seatman, He's going to be around for our watch party on Sunday. We're going to get him drunk. He's a young college kid, but he's not ready to hang with the nation. So if you could, let's make sure the Raiders Report wins that sub battle. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you join me, Jeremy Chuggs, Patrick Seatman. My girlfriend might even be here. That one's still a question mark, though. And watch the Raiders-Vikings preseason game with me. We're going to be breaking it all down. We're going to be having a good time, so make sure you hit that sub button. Let's now talk about some NFL news that happened today, because a lot of y'all were like, are the Raiders going to sign Danny Shelton? Well, no. He ended up signing with the Kansas City Chiefs today instead. Las Vegas worked him out on Monday, and the Raiders have been looking for extra defensive tackle depth. Danny Shelton played with Patrick Graham on the New York Giants last season. Then he played with the Detroit Lions in 2020. He played with the New England Patriots in 2018 and 2019. So this has been a name that continues to get popped up around Raiders circles in terms of a defensive tackle because team need and the coaches he's played for. So since Danny Shelton is no longer available, he's in KC, FKC's in the chat. Here are my top 5 defensive tackles that the Raiders could sign a free agency. Not ranked in any particular order, but Ndamukong Suh, Sheldon Richardson, Linval Joseph, Steve McLendon, and then Darius Philon. The most expensive options are your top 3 right here. The player that I know a lot of y'all want is Darius Philon, but when I did my defensive tackle rankings, I had Danny Shelton ranked at 9. All these players that you see on screen right now were all higher than Danny Shelton. Now, if you want the Raiders to sign a defensive tackle, I want you to like this video right now. Like the video right now if you want the Raiders, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler to sign a freaking defensive tackle, because if they do, I'm going live. I'm ready to party. Hell, I want you to take this video on YouTube, tweet it at the Raiders. What do we have to do to get a DT around here? I get you want to evaluate your talent. But I'm telling y'all right now, the talent's not there. You need to add that an extra interior defensive line. We know it. I know it. Jeremy knows it. Y'all know it. Make it happen already. Now, today's show, again, y'all, is presented by Panda Supps, and they just launched their brand new testosterone booster. You can get 25% off by using promo code TEST at pandasupps.com. If anybody out there is trying to get into better shape, remember when let's say for some people who are a little bit older, right? You're not 20 years old. You don't have the metabolism. It's not as easy to build the muscle. You want to feel 20 years old again? Take some test boosters before you work out. This is what Panda Supps has to say of why you should try it. If you're looking for a natural way to build muscle, strength, improve sex drive, and increase energy levels, welcome the all-new Panda Test. Panda Test uses clinically dosed ingredients to naturally boost free testosterone levels and reduce stress hormones. A lot of you are like, why does stress matter? You ever wonder why you can never get rid of this little belly fat here? Like, I have it too. I like sweets, but I can never get rid of it. Stress. Stress is one of the biggest reasons why you have a little bit of belly fat. You want to build muscle and get rid of that annoying belly fat? Take the test booster. So scan this QR code right here. It's going to drop you right onto the test booster, and then you can use promo code TEST to get 25% off. Major shout out to Panda Supps. You can also find that link available for you all in the comments and in the description of today's video. So why I always tell you guys to hit me up on Twitter is because I'm pumping out content. I wake up in the morning, I take Chuck for a walk. While I was taking Chuck for a walk today, I saw the Raiders were going to be working out running back Levante Bellamy, and he's played college football at Western Michigan, was a 2019 MAC Offensive Player of the Year, a UDFA for Denver in 2020, played for the Denver Broncos, though, the past 2 seasons. So when I tweeted this out, probably the top comment that came up was, Mitch, why another running back for the Raiders? And I was like, I get it, but this is why they did it. Because Tom McMahon, who was the Raiders special teams coach, he coached them in Denver the past 2 seasons. And when you look at the overall snap counts, he's made a bigger impact on special teams. Playing 88 snaps on special teams compared to having only 4 carries for 11 rushing yards, 1 catch for 5. But what the Raiders value right now, especially at RB, is depth. And they're looking for extra depth at the running back position. That way when you trot out certain players, right, in the preseason, you can rely on them. And I don't know how much you see of Josh Jacobs again. I don't know how much you see of Kenyon Drake since he got banged up. But what the preseason about is evaluating talent, and I believe the Raiders still want to be able to evaluate their offensive line, and they're going to heavily use running backs, which we saw against Jacksonville in the NFL Hall of Fame game. So think of Lavonte as being that extra depth at running back, but also he's got those special teams ties with Tom McMahon, and if he were to find out a way to make the practice squad, it's probably a little bit more from a special team standpoint. All right, y'all, let's get into the latest here around Brandon Parker, and I know there's been some conflicting reports out there, but I'm going to trust my team and my guys personally. He injured himself on Monday. Some people were like, all right, did it happen in the NFL Hall of Fame game? No. From what I've been told, Parker injured himself working out on Monday. I was told it was an arm injury and that he is done for the season. I know what somebody said on Twitter and saying it's not 100% true. Essentially what he's waiting for, and I'm not going to mention his name, is because you know when a player signs in free agency and then 2 or 3 days later it's this player is officially signed, it's like the officially official thing? That's what you're looking at here with Parker. They are going to move him to the IR. They're hoping that maybe they don't have to do it. But my understanding is that Brandon Parker is done for the season. He's injured his tricep muscle. He's not going to come back. And the fact that he's a free agent, he's still waiting to test all of his options. But from my understanding, Brandon Parker done for the season. He's not on the IR yet, but it is going to happen. So I posted that on Instagram, posted it on Twitter, and I'm going to continue to stick to my story. There's a reason why no beat reporters are talking about it, because they don't know either, right? If they did know, they would talk about it. It's the way that the job works. So I knew something. That's why I always tell people, go on places like YouTube, because you're going to get better Raiders coverage on YouTube, which kind of blows my mind than the people that are actually in that building there. It's sad, but that's why Big J is kind of dead, right? All right, y'all, we got some more news and rumors to hit here on the Raiders Report, because in terms of some players that didn't practice today, I got 12 names to keep in mind. It's Brandon Parker, Alex Bars, those are your offensive linemen. At tight end, Darren Waller, Jacob Hollister, Nick Bowers. I know a lot of y'all are panicking on Darren Waller, but from my understanding, it's nothing to be too scared about. It's something basically they're just giving him some rest. Cleveland Ferrell, defensive end. Divine Diablo, Anthony Averett, Rocky Sin, those guys missed today. Crayvon LeBlanc, Ike Brown, and then to round it out, Tyree Gillespie. That rounds out the players that did not practice today for the Las Vegas Raiders. In terms of some guys who impressed, Lester Cotton. Lester Cotton continues to be that dude. And a month ago, I didn't know if he was going to start. I didn't know if he was going to make the 53-man roster. Lester Cotton has been playing so well that I think if it came down to it, hypothetically speaking, Raiders signed Darrell Williams, they kick him out to right tackle, I think Cotton might actually play over Leatherwood. That's how good Cotton looked, and he looked, again, very, very impressive today. The player dominating on defense, it was Max Crosby. So much so that he was pissing off the defense, and he kind of started the fight. And this definitely got overblown a little bit today. The fight, I guess, started with John Simpson and Crosby. And a lot of people are like, well, why are they fighting? They're fighting because everyone's competing for spots. The offense is going to battle against the defense. If you're competitive and you care, you know what? As long as literally no haymakers and nobody gets hurt, I'm okay with a little bit of pushing and shoving. It shows me that you care. Then Dylan Parham wanted to back up his guy John Simpson, and then essentially what happened was the entire team rallied behind, split up, nothing crazy happened. It was the first fight, though, with Josh McDaniels, and as far as I'm concerned, I like to see fire. I like to see people that care. That's what that was about to me. More news here around the Raiders and their defense. Nate Hobbs working on the outside today. So he was matched up against Davante Adams. He actually played pretty well against Adams from my understanding. He continues to look like a legit number one outside corner. He jumped a pass today against Derek Carr, picking him off when he was covering Adams. Hobbs is that guy. He can play the outside, and if he does play the outside, look for players like Anthony Averett and Amik Robertson to line up on the inside for the Silver and Black. All right, y'all, I'm getting ready to head out of here for news and rumors. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. If you made it this far in the show and you're not already subscribed, hit that sub button, because for the people who are subbing, I know y'all are the real ones, and if you made it this far, type RO4L for the real ones out there.